The NOPD will promote no one while it addresses questions of fairness with the process.
Chief Ann Kirkpatrick says there are now anonymous allegations of cheating. Chris Joseph spoke with a law enforcement watchdog to break down what that means.
The whole process was set up in a way to virtually eliminate any potential for cheating in this.
Metropolitan Crime Commission President Rafael Goyeneche says he's a skeptic that the city's Office of Inspector General will find cheating in the New Orleans Police Department's promotions process. On Tuesday, Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick announced the IG investigation and promised swift disciplinary action if any cheating is found. Goyeneche says he spoke with sources who say the cheating allegations center around a promotions test crafted by a contractor.
The national firm that devised this test was totally in charge of the process. They didn't share their test with anybody, not even any of the consultants. And they do this nationally, and they develop a reputation for this, and they're not going to let one jurisdiction impact their business reputation nationally.
Goyeneche says that firm is Illinois-based Industrial Organizational Solutions. The company has not returned a request for comment. He says if the Inspector General's office finds cheating, officers will face serious consequences. I asked the NOPD to elaborate on the allegations of cheating. A spokesperson says the statement is all the department will release for now. Questions have swirled around that NOPD promotion system since Kirkpatrick announced in October 33 promotions to captain and major would be delayed to improve the system over concerns of bias in internal evaluators.
A morale killer in our department was a culture of even belief, if you will, if not a fact, that promotions in this department had historically not been based in the merit.
Kirkpatrick's statement on Tuesday said all promotions will be paused while the process is studied. The Police Association of New Orleans and the Black Organization of Police both declined to comment for now. Previously, they've alleged Mayor LaToya Cantrell wielded political influence and instructed Kirkpatrick to delay the promotions. They've theorized that's because two of the officers up for promotion are connected to the investigation of Cantrell's former bodyguard, now retired officer Jeffrey Vappy. Kirkpatrick has denied those allegations, saying the administration is working with NOPD to improve the system based off concerns of bias.
So it wasn't until the mayor saw who the top two rated people were that she expressed some concerns about the prejudice.
Kirkpatrick announced 5 independent assessors will analyze the candidates to see if the NOPD's internal assessment was biased. She expects that review to last 2 weeks. Now, the New Orleans Independent Police Monitor released a statement which praised the pause for the sake of both fairness and transparency.